Hi, Virgo. I'm done with this completely. Promising a lot of money and unexpected call from someone you're waiting for. In the same breath is desperation, combining every common human desire into one prediction. So at least something feels relevant. This isn't guidance. This is shotgun approach, hoping one pellet hits. And both promises keep you passive, waiting for money to arrive, waiting for someone to call instead of building wealth or initiating communication yourself. So let's be adults. Money comes through work and strategy, not cosmic delivery. And if you're waiting for someone's call, you can pick up your phone and call them. Let's dismantle this completely. Bundled predictions dilute credibility. When content promises multiple unrelated good things, simultaneously money and the call you've been waiting for, and probably three other things. If you keep watching, it's not seeing your specific future. It's listing common human desires and hoping statistical probability ensures at least one feels relevant to you. Because if you receive any money, paycheck, tax refund, found $20, or any call from anyone you've been thinking about or hoping to hear from, you'll credit the prediction and then you'll overlook that the other promises didn't manifest. You'll focus on the hit and ignore the misses. You'll become testimonial for content's accuracy based on partial fulfillment of bundled predictions. That's not prophecy being accurate. That's you being generous in your interpretation while content uses scattershot approach. Can you see the technique underneath the spiritual framing? Recognize when volume of predictions substitutes for accuracy. Because here's what it's coming does psychologically it creates passive waiting. It suggests that good things are approaching through external mechanisms you don't control. It positions you as recipient rather than creator. And that positioning, it's disempowering. Because as long as you're waiting for money to arrive, you're not strategizing about how to earn more. As long as you're waiting for someone to call, you're not initiating communication yourself. You're surrendering agency to belief that good things come to those who wait. When reality is, good things come to those who create conditions for good things and then act when opportunities present themselves. So its coming keeps you stuck, keeps you passive, keeps you hoping instead of building. How long have you been waiting for things to come versus creating them yourself? Calculate the cost of passivity honestly, because I need to address a lot of money specifically. That's deliberately vague. A lot is relative. Could mean anything from $100 to $1 million, could mean different amounts to different people watching the same content. So you'll receive some money because money moves through everyone's life constantly, and you'll decide whether it qualifies as a lot based on your interpretation. Got unexpected tax refund? That's the predicted money. Got paid for work you did? That's the predicted money. Found cash you forgot about? That's the predicted money. The vagueness ensures that almost any receipt of money can be made to fit the prediction. But here's what's missing: any actual mechanism for how money arrives, any guidance about what actions create financial improvement, any practical strategy for building wealth, just it's coming, just passive waiting for external delivery. What are you actually doing to improve your financial situation? Assess action versus hoping. Because here's what actually creates a lot of money: developing valuable skills and getting paid for them, building business that solves problems people will pay to have solved, investing consistently over long periods, living below your means and accumulating capital, creating multiple income streams, negotiating better compensation, changing careers to higher paying field, working more hours or taking side projects, boring, unsexy actions repeated over time, not cosmic delivery, not manifestation, not waiting for abundance to arrive, just math, just economics, just effort translated into compensation through market mechanisms. So if you want a lot of money, if you want financial improvement, stop consuming content that promises it's coming. Start consuming content about actual wealth building strategies. Start taking concrete actions that increase your earning or investing capacity. That creates real financial change. Predictions just create comforting fantasy while your bank account stays the same. Which are you choosing, fantasy or strategy? Your financial situation reveals the answer, because I also need to address unexpected call from someone you're waiting for. Why are you waiting for them to call? Why aren't you calling them? If you want communication, if you want connection, if you want resolution or clarity or conversation, you have phone. You have their number, presumably. You can initiate the contact yourself, but you're waiting, making their willingness to reach out more important than your need for communication, giving them control over when and whether connection happens. That's passivity. That's surrender of power. That's making yourself dependent on someone else's choices. And content that validates that waiting, that promises the call is coming, that suggests you should just be patient. It's reinforcing your passivity. It's teaching you that waiting is appropriate strategy. It's preventing you from recognizing that you have agency here. Why are you waiting instead of initiating? Answer that question honestly, because here's what unexpected suggests: that you're not expecting them to call, that communication has been absent, that distance or silence has been the pattern. So the call, if it comes, would be surprising, would break established pattern, would represent change in their behavior or circumstances. And that change might happen. People do sometimes reach out after periods of silence, do sometimes break patterns, do sometimes initiate communication they've been avoiding. But banking on that, waiting for that, organizing your emotional life around hope that they'll change their pattern. That's giving them power they haven't earned. That's making your peace dependent on their choices. That's staying attached to outcome you can't control. What would change if you stopped waiting and initiated yourself? Consider whether your waiting is serving you or just protecting you from vulnerability of reaching out. Because I want to talk about the bundling itself. Money and call, these are unrelated desires. Financial security and relational connection. Material needs and emotional needs. Combining them in single prediction isn't seeing integrated future. It's listing multiple common wants and hoping one resonates. And that bundling, it's designed to maximize probability that you'll find something relevant. If you're not particularly focused on money, maybe the call feels significant. If you're not waiting for anyone's call, maybe the money promise hooks you. Either way, content has increased odds that you'll engage, share, credit the prediction. That's marketing strategy, not spiritual sight. Can you see when predictions are designed for maximum relevance rather than actual accuracy? Develop immunity to scattershot predictions. Because here's what people who actually build good lives do differently: they don't wait for money to arrive, they develop earning capacity. They invest strategically, they build wealth through sustained effort and smart choices. They don't wait for calls, they initiate communication when they need it. They create the connections they want instead of hoping others will create them. They don't consume predictions about good things coming. They consume information that helps them make better decisions in domains they care about. They're active, they're agents, they're creators of their circumstances, not passive recipients of cosmic delivery. Which approach are you taking? Your life circumstances reveal which you've been choosing. Because I also need to address people in genuine hardship. If you're struggling financially, if you're in real difficulty, if you're grasping at predictions about money arriving because you're desperate, you don't need predictions. You need practical resources, budget help, information about assistance programs, possibly career counseling or skill development. You need concrete actions that improve actual situation, not content that makes you feel better about situation while leaving it unchanged. So if you're in crisis, if you need real help, stop consuming money predictions. Start accessing actual resources. Take concrete steps, even if they're small, because incremental improvement through sustained action that works. Waiting for cosmic money delivery that keeps you stuck while making you feel like you're doing something. Are you seeking real help or comforting fantasy? Be honest about what you actually need. Because ultimately, here's the truth: money isn't coming unless you create conditions for it to arrive through your actions. Call isn't coming unless the person decides to make it, which you can't control and shouldn't wait for. So, content promising both, it's keeping you passive, keeping you waiting, keeping you consuming predictions instead of building the life you claim you want. And you can keep doing that, can keep clicking on promises about good things coming, can keep waiting for cosmic delivery of desires you could be actively pursuing. Or you can recognize that your power is in action, not in waiting, that you can create financial improvement through strategy and effort, that you can initiate communication instead of hoping for it. That choice between passivity and agency, between hoping and building, between consuming predictions and taking action, that determines your life trajectory. That determines whether you create what you want or just keep hoping it arrives. So, what will it be? More waiting? More consuming predictions? More hoping that money and calls and all good things just come to those who believe hard enough? Or action, strategy, initiation? Taking responsibility for creating the circumstances you want instead of waiting for external forces to deliver them? Your choice, your life, your consequence. Choose consciously, then live with what that choice creates. Because the only thing that's really coming is more of whatever you're currently choosing. If you're choosing passivity, more passivity is coming. If you're choosing action, more results are coming. That's the actual prediction, the only one that matters. Everything else is just noise designed to keep you comfortable in inaction. Turn it off. Start building. Stop waiting. That's the message. That's all you needed to hear. Now go do it. Money comes through work and strategy, not cosmic delivery. Calls come when you dial them, not when you wait for someone else to initiate. Stop consuming predictions that keep you passive and start taking actions that create what you want. Your power is in agency, not in hoping. Use it or keep waiting while life passes you by. Your choice.